Hello class, today we are going to be learning about the Earth's layers. The objective that goes along with this is 6.E.2.1, where you will summarize the structure of the Earth, including the layers, the mantle and core, based on the relative position, composition, and density. The Earth is divided into 4 layers: the crust, the mantle, the inner core, and the outer core. Take a look at the diagram to your right. We will begin with the crust, which is the part we live on. It is the outermost layer on the Earth. If we were thinking about an egg, it would be like the egg shell. The thickness varies. Under mountains, it can be as thick as 60 kilometers and less than 5 kilometers under the ocean. It is the least dense of all the layers. It is the lightest layer. It is made up of silicon and oxygen. Those are 2 elements. There are 2 types of crust. The oceanic crust is very dense, made of basalt. The continental crust is less dense, and it's made of granite. We will look at a bigger diagram now. Look at the left at oceanic crust. You will see that it is made of basalt, and to the right, the continental crust is made of granite. We will now look at the mantle. The mantle is located below the crust. This would be like the egg white. The mantle is the largest layer, about 2,900 kilometers thick. The rock layers are movable, plastic. Hot, softened rocks made up of more magnesium and iron. Density increases with depth due to increase in pressure. The mantle is divided into 2 parts, the upper mantle and the lower mantle. This contains the moho, the Mohorovicic discontinuity, and we will talk more about this in class. Next, we have the core. This would be the egg yolk, located below the mantle. The core is divided into 2 layers, the outer core and the inner core. We will look at the outer core first. The outer core is liquid and is made up of mostly iron. This is easily magnetized. The outer core, the movement of materials in the liquid outer core, is inferred to be the cause of Earth's magnetic field. Make sure you highlight this in your notes. The outer core is about 2,250 kilometers thick. The inner core is the center of the Earth, 1,200 kilometers thick. It's solid iron and nickel, most dense layer. So the inner core is the heaviest. Make sure you highlight this in your notes as well. The increased pressure causes the inner core to be solid. In your notes, we are going to draw this diagram of the Earth. You can see that the outer layer is the crust. Then you have the mantle, then you have the outer core, and then you have the inner core. Make sure when you draw this, you label all of the parts. Take a minute to look at this diagram where they're exploring the Earth's interior. It's just different ways to look at it. Now we will look at the sub-layers of the mantle. We know that the root word sub means under, so these layers are under the mantle. The lithosphere. This is the crunchy layer of the earth. It includes the crust and the very uppermost part of the upper mantle. The asthenosphere is soft. It can bend like plastic. Layer in the upper portion of the mantle. It is located right below the lithosphere. Lithosphere floats on this layer, kind of like Jell-O. Go back to the diagram in your notes. Make sure you have labeled the lithosphere and the asthenosphere, just like you see on this PowerPoint. These are some review questions. Try to answer them before seeing what the answer is, to assess if you know about the earth that you live on. If you are still confused about any of the parts of the earth, we will talk more about this in class. Remember, this is only an introduction. On Wednesday, you will do a lab with Ms. Beckman on the parts of the earth to better understand this material. Make sure you have your notes complete before you end this PowerPoint.